Hey everyone, welcome to Hedgehog Hollow. Happy Sunday. I hope you're having an awesome weekend. I wanted to jump in and I have been working on the craft room and I'm going to do a video tomorrow, just like a quick live with my phone. But I want to talk about some tips for when your craft room gets out of control. Now, you see me behind me. It's so much better than it used to be. You can't quite see the floor and the disaster down there, but I'm like halfway through the process of going from a craft room where I couldn't even walk in the door. That's how bad it was. The surfaces were all piled up. You see me when I'm crafting and everything. To my desk is now clear, and I'm kind of on the way to being back to organized. So I'm going to do a live on that. Excuse me, on my phone tomorrow, and just take you through a little bit about my process and things. I'm also doing a massive destash in the process. Like, I'm getting rid of all my wow embossing powders. I'm going to get rid of a lot of my mediums. I'm really going to just pare down to the stuff I actually use rather than all the other stuff I've got around. So I've got a ton of boxes I'm making up. All mystery boxes that have been bought have been shipped and everything. So I'll be sending an email out about those, but I want to build them first because it just makes the process so much easier. So anyway, all of that will be coming out. So watch your emails if you want to know. There'll be Maker Forte like love stuff, and then there'll be all my other. I've got rid of all my Nouveau drops. I've got rid of tons, pretty much all my stamps and dies, all my ideology stuff, like all of that stuff is pretty much going. So because I want to pare down to the point where all I have is my dream box. So there's all of that. So anyway, today I wanted to hop in. We usually start about the 2-minute mark. So if you are new here, drop me a comment. I see everyone coming in. Hello. Let us know where you're tuning in from. If you're not watching this live, you can see the replay of the chat. But do drop me a comment down below to let us know where you're tuning in from. Don't forget to hit subscribe, ring the bell, and give the video a thumbs up. It really, really does help us, and it doesn't cost you anything at all. And links to everything I'm doing and using, that was the cat, is in the description below. And I'll also post them in the chat as we're going as much as I can as well. So yay, Giants won. I haven't seen any football today. Usually I go and watch Sunday football at our local bar. But I've been hanging out with Tilly. We read books, we laid in bed, I did some work. Like, we just kind of had a day with me and the kids, which was really, really nice. So let's dive in. So today I wanted to talk to you about perfect impressions, because so many people ask me, like, okay, why is my stamp not stamping out right? What am I doing wrong? All those kinds of things. And really, there's just 4 steps. And I have them laid out in front of me. And I'm going to show you the 4 steps to get a perfect first impression. So let's go down to my desktop. Hello. So here I have 2 stamp sets we're going to use. I have True North, which is super detailed. And then I have Easy Watercolor because it's really solid. And I wanted to show you both of them because they each present their different challenges. Okay, so this one is going to be more about your ink choice. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. And this one is going to be more about the preparation of it. Okay, so let's open this one up. I'm going to show you the first part. So when you get a stamp set, and if you watch the Hedgehog Hollow regularly, you'll know this tip, but I wanted to go over it again. So you see, like, when you get it, you always have this acetate to peel off the back, which reveals the stamping side of the stamp. But you see, like, it's really tough to peel off, particularly on a super solid stamp. And I'm also going to do my True North right here. I have to say, Linda, I do not miss the snow. I mean, I'd like it like one day a year, but I don't miss all the slush and the aftermath. I just want the fresh snow and then to be done. So here are 2 different stamps. Now, the first thing I do when I get a stamp set is I peel that acetate off. I leave the solid side. So this is the side that's down right now is the side that sticks to your Misty or your acrylic block. This is the side that takes ink. This is the side that you want to work on. And my hands are sticking to these. You can see it's like bringing up the stamp. And the reason is photopolymer is like a type of resin. And when they create the stamp, it leaves a residue because, of course, you know, the other side, we want it to be sticky. But the side that takes the ink, we don't want that to be sticky. And that stickiness is what stops you getting that perfect first impression. So we developed a product called Prime Time, and it comes either in an 8 ounce or you can get it in a 2 ounce. I like this one. It comes with a little trigger on it. This is called the refill size, but I like to just use this one. And you only ever have to do this process once. This stuff is also amazing. It comes in a cotton candy scent. I think this one, yeah, cotton candy or unscented. And you're just going to spritz it on and leave it on your stamp for a minute. So just leave it there to like percolate for a second. So you're going to do this once ever. This stuff is also great if you've got stickiness on your MISTI, if you've got extra ink on your MISTI, or the MISTI's a little bit greasy from being cleaned a lot, or you've used a particular stamp cleaner on it, then you can also clean your MISTI with it. I clean my glass mats with it when it's got glue and stickiness on it. Anything like that is going to take that away for you as well. So we're going to leave this on for about 45 seconds to a minute. So I'm just watching the timer here on YouTube. Jen says it's windy and cold. It's cold here. It was actually, I got up this morning and it was 30 degrees. 30 degrees. I mean, this is Florida. We're not used to that. It was -1 on my car. And I was like, wow, that's cold by Florida standards. So yeah, I was not impressed by that. So we're going to leave this on here. I'm going to leave it on my solid longer. And so all I'm going to do is just wipe away the majority. Now, if you have an open sink, you can just run this under the tap. Or you can just use a cloth like I'm doing here. Okay. And then on your more solid stamps, you're just going to work it in a little bit. Now, this is not going to do any harm to your stamp if you leave it on, but it will keep working. So I like to then grab some Squid Buster. This is our cleaner. And I'm going to talk to you more about the cleaning step once we've got through ink. So I'll come right back to this. And I'm just going to give it a wipe. Now, this is our microfiber cloth. I use this to clean my stamps. I also use it to prime time my stamps, as you can see. It's really nice to get in those nooks and crannies. And I just throw it in the washing machine and the dryer, and it just goes on and on and on. And it doesn't transfer colors. It locks everything in. It also doesn't shed. So I was really I did a lot of testing on microfibers, and I didn't want one that shed because you don't want fuzzies on your stamp. So I'm just going to pick this up, clean underneath. You do not want to get prime time on the opposite side of your stamp, which is why I like to keep it on the acetate, because the whole idea is it removes sticky, and then you don't have the sticky to go onto your stamps and things. But you see now how it doesn't stick, whereas before it was like super sticky. Okay, so first of all, step 1 is we're going to prime our stamps. Step 2 is using a really good ink. It's really important to use a high quality ink. Now, distress inks are great. I have all the distress inks. My absolute favorite ink, of course, is our Color Hive. Here I have the Black Remarkable. And the reason I went with this formulation, so it's my own formulation, it's nobody else's, which is nice because I got 2 kind of engineers. This is our black, which is alcohol marker friendly instantly. You can also heat emboss it if you're quick. And also you can, if you heat set it, it will be waterproof as well. So that's why I really like it. But the other thing I did was I put all of our colors, this is Lady Liberty here, on silicone foam. Let me just drop some links for you. So here's the prime time. Thanks, Alicia. She's trying as well. So here's the watercolor stuff. They are also in the description down below. You can hit the little arrow and expand the description. Then I have the True North stamp set and the microfiber cloth. That's how far we've got. Okay, so they are come on a silicone foam. I'm going to show you the reason why. So I'm going to put some cardstock here in my MISTI. I'm going to just use the super solid circle because it's easy. And then we're also going to do an octopus because he's really detailed. So I'm going to pick these up on my MISTI. And you see, it'll grab onto your paper a little bit, but you literally just flick it with your finger and it comes off. It's not going to have that sticky. It's not going to rip your paper. And that's because we use the prime time. So the reason I like the silicone foam is because you get really, really good coverage. I mean, look, like instantly, I'll put a little bit of white under here so you can see. Do you see how good that coverage is? It's lovely and even. And it just smushes in. Even more, I love it when you're doing a detailed stamp like this, because when you smush it down, it goes into all those nooks and crannies in your stamp. So I've got them in there. Okay, so step 2 is, so step 1 is we've primed our stamp. Step 2 is we are using a really high quality ink. Something smushable is my preference. Now you can do it a couple of ways. You can do this and do the whole CPR thing. Or my next tip is to use a smusher because, of course, it smushes down your thing. So I'm just going to grab that. Here's Color Hive ink. Here's a link to the smusher for you. And all you do is you just go over it like this. It's super easy. And the other thing is people are always really quick to want to lift up their misties. There is no reason you can't leave it down. It gives it time for the ink to soak into your paper. It's going to give you a crisper impression. It's going to give you a deeper impression. So I like to then just leave it for a second and lift it up. And you can see like all of that detail in the octopus is just perfect. It's super crisp. Perfect impression in there. And of course you can stamp multiple times if you want to, but you don't need to on that one. Here you can see you've got a beautiful solid. And again, if you want to go a second time, and you can make, so our ink's quite opaque. So the more times you stamp, the darker it's going to get. You can also spritz it with water and you'll get a slightly different effect. So again, do the same thing. I'm just going to give it a little smush, leave it for a second, lift up. And there you go. There's your beautiful solid piece on there. So with step 1, we primed. Step 2, we're using a high quality ink. Step 3, we're going to smush. And then step 4 is just maintaining your stamps. So now that I'm done, we want to give our stamps a good clean. I hate cleaning my stamps. I am not that girl at all. So it had to be something easy. So we developed the Squid Buster Cleaner. Again, it comes in a 2 or an 8 ounce. I will drop some links down there for you. Squid Buster is here. And then all I do is take the same microfiber cloth while it's still on my MISTI, because then I can clean the lid of my MISTI if there's any ink on there. And literally just give it a wipe off. This has no grease in it. It does have a small amount of stamp conditioner in it just to keep your stamps in tip-top condition. But there is 0 grease. You can clean your surfaces. You can clean your MISTI. You can clean everything with this. You can see, look, how clean that octopus is. A lot of black inks don't clean off, or a lot of cleaners don't clean off black inks. But this one will come off perfectly. This is a deep green, which traditionally would start to stain. You can see my stamp is completely clear. It washes straight off. And also taking that sticky layer off helps clean up your stamps as well. So the other thing I'll mention is using a high quality paper is important. Make sure you're using a nice bright white cardstock. Nothing with a coating if you want to use dye inks because it won't dry. I'll drop the link to our A2. It's milled in America. A2 France. We have it in lots of different sizes, 8.5 by 11, slim lime, all of that stuff. But I'll drop the link to that as well. So they're my top tips. There's literally 4 steps. Step 1 is prime. Step 2 is high quality ink and paper. And then step 3 is smush. And then step 4 is clean. And literally make it super easy. So I have prime time. I use that once ever in a whole lifetime of stamps. And then I use high quality ink like a Color Hive. Again, links are in the description. Then I use a smusher. And then I use my Squid Buster. That's it. Super, super easy. And it gives you these beautiful, crisp first impressions afterwards as well. So that's literally all there is to it. Thank you for hopping on with me on this Sunday night. I'll be back tomorrow. It's Martin Luther King Day, so Tilly's off school. So I'm going to work on the craft room, and I'll just hop in and just trying to show you how I'm working on my craft room. I mean, literally, you'll have to imagine that I couldn't even get in the door. There was stuff all over the floor. Yes, thank you, Sandy. Do give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell. So I'm really excited to share that with you and the process of getting my craft room back on track and usable and all that kind of stuff. And I will see you again tomorrow. And we also have a new free crafter party coming up. Details of that will be coming out probably later this week, early the following week. And we have our new release at the end of the month, which will be on my birthday. So I'm not sure if we'll do it on my birthday, but technically it's my birthday release. So I'm really excited about that as well. And it's all spring themed, which is fun. So there's lots of fun things coming up in that. I think that's it for now. So lots going on, but thank you for hopping on and joining us. And I will see you again tomorrow for lots of top tips on how to organize your craft room when you think it's beyond repair. I'll see you then. Happy crafting. Bye.